Am I the a-hole for calling my bio dad a hypocrite after he said he's disappointed that I'm dating a white man? I, 23 female, am a mixed, half black, half white woman in a relationship with a white dude named Kyle, 24 male. We've been together for 1.5 years now, and we have a really wonderful relationship. My bio dad, Calvin, is black. Calvin has 4 children, including me, from 3 white women, and his current fiancée, Pam, is also white. You could say that he has a type LOL. I am in C with Calvin's kids, LC with Calvin, birthday, Christmas texts basically, and MC with Pam. This arrangement works, and I haven't had any issues with him for a while. Calvin has known about Kyle since we first got together because I still had a closer relationship with him at the time, but I never showed him any pictures, and we didn't talk about him very much. I went for ice cream with Pam this past weekend, and we had a good time just chatting and catching up. Kyle came up briefly, I showed her some pictures, and we both gushed over how handsome he is and how cute we are together. It was a good time, and at the end she asked me if it was okay with me that she updates Calvin on what's happening with me, and I said that's totally fine. Fast forward to yesterday, I got a call from Calvin saying hello, and he's glad to hear I'm doing well, etc. We chatted a bit, and he asked how things with Kyle are going, and I told him that all is wonderful. Then he said, I'm surprised that you decided to be with a white guy. Your sisters only seem to date black men. I was surprised, but I didn't get upset. I just said, well, you should know by now that I'm not much like sisters . And it doesn't matter what ethnicity my partner is. All that matters is that the relationship is healthy and safe and full of love, which it is. What he said next is what bothered me. I'm glad that he treats you well, but I'm disappointed. I would prefer you be with a black man because black people understand black people in a way that white people never will. Now, I completely understand what he was saying here. It's true that Kyle and I have and will experience the world in very different ways. And some of those ways we may be able to empathize with, and others we will never truly understand. It's just something that needs to be understood in an interracial relationship. We need to be allies. We have had extensive conversations about it, and we are navigating the world together as a team. But instead of saying any of those wonderful words I said, I think it's incredibly hypocritical of you to lecture me about dating a white person when you have exclusively dated and had kids with white women. You also have no place in my life to tell me whether or not you approve of any of my relationships. You can keep your opinions to yourself unless explicitly asked, and hung up the phone. Shortly after that, I received a text from Pam saying that I should be nicer to Calvin because he's already afraid to doesn't know how to talk to me, and he just wants to reconnect. Anyway, I now find myself wondering if I was a bit too short with him because I do understand what he meant to express. Am I the a-hole for asking my husband to send his employee home and get uniforms? More context. He has his own business. We have been great, no fighting. We've been taking short trips/road trips, going to events together, and all that good stuff. We haven't been spicy a lot due to him taking meds, and he is not into it anymore, even though we are actively trying to have a baby and been in contact with IVF for all of this. Close to a year now. We've been together 6 years total. Now him, 35, and me, 25, have very different jobs and I guess opinions. This female that works with him for close to a year now, I've met her plenty of times, always chat, blah blah blah. There were no issues up until I saw she keeps dressing like she is going to the club to go sit and do stickers in front of my husband. Now I am talking about tight leather pants and her melons out. I texted her in, told her I didn't agree how she is dressing for work. It's not a club. Plus it is also 10 degrees outside, and she walks/takes train. So my husband got mad. I texted her. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have texted her, but today, the day after, she comes into work wearing the same clothes and takes my man outside, where there are no cameras, to talk to him and tell him the other employees are telling me things they don't like her either, and now I'm overthinking things. I also went through his texts and found out last Friday he picked her up from station after she asked. He says I shouldn't have texted her, and maybe I agree, but how many times do I need to ask him to say something? Now I really dislike her because she is over here telling him the other employees are making me insecure.